following video may be triggering for some viewers. It is intended for mature audiences and deals with topics of anxiety and depression.
Save me some.
Hello, my friends. How you doing? I am doing well. Well, is that what you want to hear? Is that what you want to hear? How well I'm doing? Yes. But it wouldn't be true. It wouldn't be true. Listen, this channel is like a diary to me. I unbox stuff. I got a package from Amazon, it looks like, and two other packages that I have to open up and catalog. But before we get to that, I'm gonna open a forum with my friends. I consider you guys my friends because let's just face it, okay? My real friends are between the ages of 3 and 5, and I really can't open to them and ask them questions. And I know that you all have been through things in your lives that maybe you can help me out with, okay? So let's go back a little bit. We're gonna go back a little bit. About 2 years ago, maybe almost 3 or so, whatever. My middle daughter, my youngest daughter decided that she wanted to go where the night takes her. She decided she wanted to move in with friends, and that she didn't want to be here anymore, and she wanted to move in with some friends. And that's what she did. She moved out. She moved in with some friends, and I want to say maybe 4 months later, she came back. Okay, and listen. Now, when I say my kids, let's make this very clear. My son is 19 years old. My youngest daughter is 21 years old. The daughter after that is 22 years old, and the oldest daughter is 26 years old. So when I say my kids, they'll always be my kids, but they're not really kids. They're grown adults. They're men and women, okay? They're grown adults. They can make choices. They can come and go. They're adults. But the problem I have is they live under my roof. They live under my roof, and they suck in my bills, and they're sucking my gas bill, my electric bill, my water bill, and they're doing all of this stuff. And granted, I have two of them that do pay me rent. $50 a week, okay? I got $50 a week, but for some reason in their heads, they seem to think that $50 is like $1 billion. They think that $50 covers the water, or covers the gas, or covers the electric, or covers the Wi-Fi, or covers the mortgage that I pay. I'm paying almost $1,600, if not more, for a mortgage here. And then you got to pay the insurance. You got to pay all the... Listen, I'm paying a lot of money. Me and the wife, we're paying a lot. Not just me. I got to throw the wife in there because there's no way that I would be able to do this alone. Okay, it's a teamwork thing, and my wife's not even making the money that she used to be making. Okay, my wife took she took a promotion with a demotion. Okay, that's what I call it. The promotion with a demotion. Okay, she got a higher job with more responsibility, with less pay. Okay, she's on salary, so she works 80 hours a week. She makes the same amount of money if she's working 40 hours a week. She works 20 hours a week. She makes the same amount of money if she works 40 hours a week. But that never happens. Okay, my wife goes in the morning to work from like 7:30 or so. She leaves this house around 7:30, and she don't come home till like 7:30 at night. And she does get an hour lunch break, but sometimes she works through her lunch break, and she works some Saturdays, like every other one. I think it's like every other Saturday a month or whatever. We just ain't making the money that we were making. So this is what happens. So this is what's going on in my personal life. So if you haven't watched this channel before, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, okay? Help me, hit the thumbs up, help me with that algorithm. Help me out, okay? I'm begging you to help me out because right now I am in complete turmoil. I am in a cluster pluck. That's what I mean. I'm a mess. So my son, if you haven't watched this channel, I've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I've been diagnosed with, at 12 years old, manic depressive with suicidal tendencies, chemical imbalance, manic depressive with suicidal tendencies at age like 12, 13, okay? I've been seeing a counselor since I was like 12, and then it moved up to a psychiatrist, to just a regular shrink that can't prescribe medication. I'm taking like 6, 7 pills a day for bipolar disorder and for depression and for anxiety. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh. And on top of that, my job is to take care of children all day long, okay? 3 to 5 year old children, sometimes 6-year-old children all day long. So I cannot be me at work. I can't be, sometimes I lose myself, okay? You know Eminem got that Lose Myself song? Sometimes I lose myself. Sometimes I'm the Melton movie guy that you see right here in front of you, and then once I'm done with this, I'm father, husband, whatever, and then I'm when I'm done with that, I'm depressed and anxious and schizophrenic and losing my mind and thinking, and then once I walk through that door at that school, I'm an 8 hour a day comedian. Okay, I'm a stand up, sit down, entertain children every day, Monday through Friday. Stand up, sit down comedian. That's what I am, and I do that every single day. And it's not a big paying gig. It's a labor of love because I love the children. I love spending time with the children. They make me feel good. They remind me of how my children used to be. So what happened recently is my son has been he's been having issues. Okay, he started college. Okay, and he's going to a university. Okay, not just a regular college, but a university. And it's expensive. It's expensive. Okay, but his mother took out her 401k so she could pay his first tuition. He got a couple of scholarships. We took a loan where she co-signed for the loan. He just got a car where she co-signed for the car. Listen, he's on my insurance, car insurance. I'm paying for his car insurance because he doesn't pay me for the car insurance. He's got a job where he works 2 days a week, and the second day a week, half the time he calls out because he's out all night with his friends. He's reached that age, 19 years old, and I remember what it was like. I remember what it was like to be 19. Okay, the thing that what I think a lot of people forget. I think a lot of people just forget in general is that you got to remember in order to relate. Now, I relate with 3 to 5 year olds because I remember what it was like to be a 3 to 5 year old. I do remember playing with cars and toys and doing things like that. I remember these things. I still collect toys. I'm still a big kid at heart. So I enjoy playing doctor or talking to them on a phone that's not even a phone, it's a banana. I enjoy fun stuff like that. I enjoy playing with the kids. It's fun. But when you're walking into the job and you're carrying this freaking heavy load of just garbage that's been just dumped on you, and then you're getting text messages from your wife saying that, oh, your son's doing this and your son's got this going on and that one's going on, and then my son's messaging me, my car broke down here, this happened there, and I don't know how I'm going to pay this and I don't know how I'm going to pay that. I don't have the answers for everybody's stinking problems. And the wife works so many hours that by the time she comes home, every problem that could possibly be dumped on me has already been dumped on me. They don't dump it on her. Okay, my daughters don't dump their problems on her. My son don't dump his problem on her. Unified dump their problems on me. And being the person that I am, I feel in my heart that I have to solve these problems for these adults, these men and women. So maybe I've been a little bit of an enabler. When it comes to my son, my wife is 100% an enabler. And the problem with my son has my blood. He has my genes. He's got the same issues I got. He's got the bipolar. He's got the depression. But the difference between him and me is I have come to grips with what I have. My father was the same way. My father, it's hereditary. It's in the blood, okay? My uncles, I'm sure I had a couple. I got an uncle that suffers from bipolar disorder. Listen, it's in the blood, okay? And I've come to grips, and I've checked myself into places, and I've talked to my doctors, and I've gone on the medication, and I've done what I'm supposed to be doing because I want to be able to be a human being on this planet, okay? That's what I want to be. But recently, I just had it out with my son. And the ironic thing is that I would say about 17 years ago, I had a major blowout with my father. Okay? I have not spoken to my father, seen my father, reached out to my father. He has not reached out to me. I have not seen him. He has not seen me in 17 years. Now, do I have any regrets about that? Absolutely not. But when I just had the blowout with my son, which we just had recently, and I literally told him to get out. I said, listen, I can't take this anymore. You're not realizing that you have a problem. I've taken you to the doctors. I went to go see your doctor. They put you on medication. He refuses to take the medication. Okay, now some of you people believe in medication. Listen, I come from a Christian background, but I never talk about my religion or my beliefs or whatever on this channel because two things I don't believe we should be ever talking about is religion and politics, okay? Because to me, I don't know much about politics, and as far as religion goes, I don't believe so much in a religion as much as I believe in a relationship. I have a relationship with a bigger being that is not me, okay? I have a relationship I'm talking to somebody, and if somebody's listening, that's what I feel. Somebody is listening. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in all of that stuff. I believe somebody is listening to me, okay? Because nobody in reality world here, okay, over here on Earth is listening to me. So I do turn to a higher being at night, and I do pray and talk and have conversations until I fall asleep. I do the same thing in the morning. When I wake up, same thing. I go to work, I bend down on one knee in front of my chair before all the students come in, and I say a prayer for the day, that we have a good day, that the children are safe, that I stay safe, that my wife is safe, my kids are safe, that everything goes good today. But my son, battling. It's like, I want you all to understand this, okay? We do reap what we sow. And to make that very easy for the people that are not biblical, karma. Okay, karma is a real thing, okay? If you were a screwed up child as a kid and you gave your parents a hard time and you did whatever the hell you did when you were a kid, you're going to get it 10 times worse when you're older, okay? And that's what's going on with me. Listen, my father and mother had 2 children, okay? I have 4 children, so they doubled up on me, okay? So I'm having problems with 4 children. When they have issues, I got to deal with 4 issues. I'm not dealing with just 1 issue or 2 issues. I'm dealing with 4 issues. So my son, we take him to go get him the help. They give him the medication. I tell him, listen, buddy, I've been taking medication for since I was 12, man. I've been taking medication for years. You have to take your medication and give it a chance. Take it at 7 o'clock every night. Let it kick in. The problem is my son, he's just like me. His mind is constantly racing. He's always got this... The only difference we got is he's got the Ralph Cramdenitis. That's what I call it, Ralph Cramdenitis. And he doesn't understand what that means because he's never seen The Honeymooners. But he's always looking for that get-rich-quick scheme, okay? Instead of going out and getting a job, he'd rather go hustle and get a job. Like, I can gamble and get a job, or I could do this and get a job. Or listen, gambling is not a job. Gambling is a chance. In my life, I don't take chances. I can't take chances on my life. My father was a gambling person. My father actually had a gambling addiction. My mother-in-law has a gambling addiction. My mother-in-law had an alcoholism problem, okay? My family comes from a group of... There's just a abundance of people with issues going on. Okay, I got compulsive liars in my family. I got people that lie. Oh my gosh, they lie and they believe their lies. It's a disgusting example. I'll tell you right now, guy, because they will look you right dead in the eye and they will lie to you, and the way they believe their lies is sick. It's sick. And I see sometimes that in my children. Sometimes I see it in things I say or I do. But being that I have this relationship, I try to be as honest as I possibly can. Matter of fact, I would say the worst of my problems is lying. Okay, I legitimately think that that's kind of gone away. I think the lying thing has disappeared. I mean, when I decided that I was gonna turn over a new leaf, the lying went away. That's not my problem. Gambling was never my problem. I don't believe in gambling. I watched my father throw thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars away. And always looking at me and going, I never have nothing. And in my head, even as a child, I was like, well, if you would have kept that $400 in your pocket, you'd have $400 in your pocket. That's the way I live my life now. If I got $50 in my pocket, I'm going to keep $50 in my pocket. I'm not going to go to the slot machines and put $50 in the machine hoping I'm going to double it, because I'm probably going to lose it. I'm not going to go buy $50 worth of scratch tickets, because let's say I do buy $50 worth of scratch tickets one week and I lose everything. And then I spend $50 the next week and I lose everything. And this keeps going on for months and months and months. Then all of a sudden I hit $1,000. Am I really winning $1,000? Or have I already spent $1,000? If I would have kept the money in my pocket, would I have already been $1,000 richer? Absolutely. So I don't believe in gambling. But the problem is my son and some of my daughters have like these issues all wrapped up, and they can't learn from what I'm trying to tell them that I've had to go through. Now, the blowout between me and my father was, to me, made sense. Okay, we just bought our house. Okay, we just bought our house. My wife got fired from her job. She got fired from her job, and it took her a long time to collect unemployment. She had to collect unemployment, but she had to battle to collect the unemployment because the job fought it or whatever. And at the same time, I was unemployed. So both of us were unemployed. 4 children. both unemployed, trying to fend for our children. Now, we applied for everything single assistance, and I will tell you, and I'm going to be 100% honest, I would get in my car every single morning, and I would drive straight up to the highway and go hit every single store or every single building or every single and fill out applications to try to get another job. It was an everyday thing. Even on Saturdays, I would get up and still go look for a job. My wife, same deal. Looking for a job, trying to find something. But we also had to find something that would compensate the money that we were losing. You know what I mean? It's like I couldn't go get a job working at like a McDonald's making at the time, I think it was like maybe $10 an hour or whatever it was. I had to go find a job like I used to have where I was making like $27 an hour or $20 an hour. And my wife was making like $18 an hour. We couldn't afford this house. We would be out on the street. So we kept going and we kept searching and hunting. But my son is always looking for the next best thing. He's always looking for the next scheme. Always the next best thing. That's what gets me. It's always the next best thing. Whether it comes to relationships, he's always looking for something better. The best thing in the world could be standing right in front of his face, and he'd still be looking, something better over there? Something better over there? Listen, I realized a long time ago, I've been with my wife for 26 years. 26 years. That's like some kind of record or something. People don't stay together that long anymore. I'm sorry. They just don't stay together that long anymore. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but 26 years with the same person is sometimes a rough gig. You know, but if you care about somebody, you have your good days, your bad days. Some days I look at her and I'm like, oh, man, another day with that one. You know, but then the next day I'm like, oh, man, another day with that one. You know what I mean? It's not always bad. It's some days it's good, some days it's bad. I'm sure she looks at me in the same exact way. You guys have been watching my channel. I am not really a pleasure to be around sometimes. Sometimes I could be a little bit over the top. Sometimes I could drive people crazy. So I got to give it to the wife for sticking around. And if she was to walk out tomorrow, I think I'd understand. I think I'd be understanding of what happened. But what happened between me and my father is we were going to lose our house, and my wife, not me, borrowed $2,000, I think it was, or $1,500 from him, which wasn't even from him because my father never had any money. My father never had any money. He didn't have a pot to piss in nor a window to throw it out of. This guy was broke all the time because he would take his entire paycheck and gamble it away. And then he met this woman and he lied right to her face. My father went to Gamblers Anonymous. That's how bad it was. And he was like, I'm not gambling or whatever. He would literally take my wife to go do laundry on a Sunday morning. And he was going to Gamblers Anonymous. Now, tell me if this makes any sense to you. No. He's going to Gamblers Anonymous. He would take my wife on a Sunday morning to go do laundry. And he would tell her, all right, I'm going to buy these scratch tickets. You scratch them because I'm going to Gamblers Anonymous. That is the strangest thing I still tell that story, and I still think it's crazy, okay? I don't know where in Gamblers Anonymous they teach you that, okay, if somebody else is scratching the tickets for you, you're no longer gambling. Listen, the guy was messed up, okay? And what happened was that my wife actually needed the money, so because we were going to lose our house, we were going to be thrown out on the street with our kids, and he's like, okay, well, I'll ask my girlfriend and see if she'll give you the loan. So his girlfriend gave us this loan, and his request was, please pay me $50 a week, every week until it's paid off. Okay, no problem, $50 a week. So my wife tells me after the fact, but the problem is my father was like a loan shark. He was a crazy-ass loan shark. My 4 children would be fast asleep. He would show up every Sunday morning at about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, wake up the entire house and say, where's my $50? Where's my $50? And after a while, okay, I'd give him the $50 every single week. I'd have my kids give it to him. So even my daughter was like maybe about 5, 6 years old, and she saw this happening every single week. $50. Every single week. I don't know how much we actually got to close to paying him off. We had to be close to $1,000 paying him off by then. I believe it was like $1,500, but we had to be close to paying him off, okay? Because every week he was there, and he'd come and collect the money, and he told us that he was using it to go pay on his Macy's card because he had maxed out his Macy's credit card, and he would take that $50 to pay on his Macy's credit card. But he would show up and wake up the entire house to get that $50. Well, one week he shows up, and I'm like, hey, Dad, I'm out of work. She's out of work. Your grandchildren need to eat. Can you hold off about 2 or 3 weeks till we get back on our feet? I did not think that it was a request that was not doable. Okay, I felt like it was a legitimate request that a father And a son could ask his father, and a father who has gone through things in his life also, has had electric shut off and gas shut off and telephone shut off. A father that had I used to answer the phone. This used to be an educational loan service. I will never forget this. The educational loan service. My father went to college. He took out a loan for him to go to college, a college bill. And he would have me answer the phone, and they'd be like, "Hello, this is educational loan service. Is Mr. there?" And he'd be like, "Tell him I'm not here." They would call 7 days a week. And 7 days a week, I would answer that phone. This was before we had the call intercept or the call waiting or the caller ID. This was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And I would answer the phone like, "No, he's not there." Meanwhile, the guy's sitting right on the couch, or he's sitting right on a chair, or he's sleeping right over there. Tell him I'm not here. Notice how I did that? Because that's how old I am, okay? I'm using the telephone, not the cell phone, okay? I'm using the telephone. And I would tell him he's not there because he would never pay his bills. He would never pay his bills. And the stuff would get shut off. I'd be sitting there watching TV, TV's off. So I figured maybe this guy would understand that, hey, give me 3 weeks to get back on my feet. Give me 3 weeks to get things straightened out. Then he starts bashing my wife and attacking my wife and saying nasty, disgusting, dirty things about my wife. And that's when I snapped. I freaking snapped. I'm sorry, but you know what? I defended my wife. This was my wife. Listen, better for worse, they'll death do your part. All she did is try to save our home. She borrowed money from a person that she shouldn't have. She didn't tell me because she knew I would have said no. I would have said, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't know the type of person you're dealing with. This guy he's money hungry. He wants his money. Okay, he's all about the dollars and the cents. This guy used to. My mother used to work a full-time job. He used to show up at her work, take her whole paycheck, give her $5 allowance, and go gamble the rest of it away. That's the God's honest truth. Okay, he would show up at her workplace and say, "All right, hand over your check." He'd hand over. She signed over the check, hand it over to him. He'd drive to the bank. He'd cash the check. He'd come back, give her $5, $10 allowance after she worked all week, and he'd gamble every freaking dime away. This is the person I was dealing with. And he's going to badmouth my wife on the phone, so I lost it. I lost it. And I said, "I'm done with you. You're done. You're gone. You're out of my life. You're over. You're done." And for 17 years, I've been fine. I've been perfectly fine. I think I made a great choice because he would have screwed up my kids. He would have screwed up. Because he used to keep coming into this house. He just kept telling me, he would tell my kids, "Oh, your father's crazy. Your father's crazy. Your father's crazy." Listen, granted, their father may very well be crazy. You watch this channel, I got things going on. I just told you I take medication for all kinds of stuff. I got stuff going on. But the one thing you gotta think about too is the law still lets me take care of children. The law still lets me have a firearm. Okay, I am not a danger to anybody. Okay, I'm just got issues in my head, and sometimes I get a little overwhelmed, and sometimes I feel a little sad, and sometimes I get a little depressed. And I don't think I'm the only one. I think there's billions of people out there just like me going through the same exact things. And some need to realize when they need help, and they need to ask for it. And in my son's case, he is at a point where he feels like the world is against him. He has no issues. We are the problems. We are the ones that are causing him dilemmas. It's not that because he doesn't want to go find a full-time job. It's not because he doesn't want to pay his bills. It's not because he can't find the right girl because no girl is the right girl for him. It's not any of these things, okay? It's me. It's us. It's all of us. Everybody. It's the world. The world is his problem, okay? Everybody owes him something. He feels entitled to things. And I'll tell you why he feels that way is because he grew up with a man that felt like his father and mother really didn't even care. Didn't even care. Plopped in front of the TV, babysat by this one. They went on trips. I stayed home. And I'm talking literally, I'm young. I'm like 10, 11, 12 years old, and they're going on trips to Atlantic City. They're going on trips for like 2 or 3 days, and they're coming, and they're leaving me home alone with my brother at like 12 years old, 13 years old. That's not right. That's strange, okay? That's a strange thing. You don't leave a 13-year-old home and go on a trip for 3 days to go gambling and have a good time, my mother, my father, and leave you there. Say, "Hey, listen, there's food in the refrigerator. If you want, you can order some pizza and have it delivered. We'll be good. We'll come back in 3 days. We're going gambling for 3 days, okay?" That stuff was not normal, okay? So I felt like the person I am right now, there's a reason. There's a reason. But my son, I felt like my wife because he's my only son. We had 3 daughters and then the son. And my wife wanted the son so bad. She wanted the son, she wanted the son, she wanted the son. I was happy with the 3 daughters. I was happy with just having 3 daughters. If I would have had a 4th daughter, I would have been happy too. But I had a son and I was happy too. I'm like, you know what? I got 3 daughters, I got a son. Now I'm going to go get fixed because the only other thing that can fall out of it is a puppy. And I don't want a puppy. And we're done. That's it. I got three daughters and 1 son. And the son literally just gave me the slap in the face. He gave me the you're a terrible father. You don't know what you're doing. You don't take care of me. And this was all over the fact that I can't with my wife's pay decrease and me making minimal money working where I work. I couldn't afford to pay his car insurance. He's working. I asked him. I said, "Listen, can you give me $30 a week?" Just to pay, so I could pay. So I almost feel like what goes around, like I'm reliving what I went through with my father. But this is over $30 and not $50. And but I will tell you the difference between me and my father is my son has had this car and car insurance going on for months now, and his bill is $166 a month for car insurance. I have yet to get $166 from him because what I do is I ask him. I'll call him up. Because it bothers me. It bothers me, and I want to know whether or not I'm going to have the money. So I'll call him up, or I'll text him, or I'll see him, and I'll say, "Listen, are you going to be short? How short are you going to be? I just need to know. I just need to know so I can compensate for the money that's missing. Not because I'm trying to be a jerk like my father and say, you know what, I disown you. Your wife's no good. You're no good. You're a terrible person. I disown you. I'm not doing that. Okay, what I want to know is what I got to compensate for the money that's missing. 1 week he gave me $100. It's supposed to be $166. I'm like, okay, thank you. Another week he gave me $80. Okay, all right, I'll fill in the rest. 1 week he was really hurting. He gave me $30. 1 week he was really hurting. I gave him $30 and paid his car insurance because his girlfriend was down from college. He wanted to go out with her that night. I felt bad. I was like, okay, it's tough nowadays. I know you got a girlfriend. I don't want you to feel like a loser or feel like you can't fend for your girlfriend. And I don't know how this world is nowadays where women pay for themselves. That's not how I was raised, and that's not what I believe in. I pay for my wife. Me and my wife are a team now, but even when we dated, I always paid for my wife's meal and movie and all this stuff. But nowadays the girl pays, and I don't understand that. But I was figured, hey, you know what? You're going out with your girl. I threw $30 at him on top of paying the car insurance. So when he went to go see the doctor, and the doctor says, hey, listen, my friend, you might be bipolar, you might be schizophrenic, you might have depression, you might have all these different things that your father has. Take this medication and let's see what it does. So this was the first medication. Well, he wouldn't take it. On top of that, he started smoking nicotine. Okay, I never had that problem. I've never smoked nicotine. Well, actually, I smoked nicotine twice in my life. Once I smoked it, and the other time was a chew. Okay, and the first time I smoked it, my father caught me smoking it and pretty much had me smoke a pack until I turned blue and threw up. The second time was the chew. Okay, all my friends were baseball people or whatever, and they were like, hey, try this chew, and it was like a little sacks of nicotine, I think it is, like little sacks, and you like tuck it up over there in your gum, and I got sick. I just got so sick. We were at this diving place where kids were like diving off these ledges into water. I can't swim, so I was just going just to hang out. But I turned like green and I threw up all over the guy's car. I couldn't take it. So I've stayed away from nicotine my entire life. I've never been. My father though was a cigarette smoker since he was like 12, and he quit I think in his like 30s. I think he was like 34, 36 when he quit smoking, and then he gained a whole pile of weight. So I got children now because the way the world is now, nicotine is like in everything. I mean, these vape things are all over the place. Everybody's puffing away and everything like that. If they're not puffing away on the vapes, they're puffing away on the marijuana. You know, whatever it is, there's just so much for kids to get themselves into nowadays. I did a whole video on marijuana a long time ago. I smoked marijuana since I was 16 years old, and the deal was that I always had to find a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who knew another guy who was friends of a guy, and then all of a sudden his son was my friend, and he would get it from his father. nowadays you can go to the corner store like you go to get gas, or like you're going to get candy, or like you're going to Walmart or Target. It's like there's instead of there being a bakery and a liquor store on every corner, now there's a liquor store and a dispensary on every corner. So it's not easy for children nowadays. I get that. So my son got all wrapped up in the nicotine thing. He's all wrapped up in the nicotine thing, and he's yelling at me because I'm telling him, like, he's trying to quit. And he's losing his flipping mind because I guess coming off of the nicotine is a terrible, terrible thing. I do not know because I never had that problem. But I tried to be compassionate. I tried to be understanding. But enough was enough when he's yelling and screaming and swearing and listen, as much as I disliked my mother and father growing up, as much as I kind of dislike them now, okay? And I have issues with what they do in their lives and what they've done with us now. I still do not swear in front of my mother or father. I haven't seen my father in 17 years, but I never swore in front of my father. And I see my mother usually on the holidays. I'll see her on Christmas and maybe the occasional birthday. Maybe. I never swear in front of my mother. It's just a respect thing. Well, my son thinks he's like Andrew Dice Clay or NWA or Eazy-E or listen, he listens to too much crappy rap music, okay? And I never thought that was gonna come out of my mouth. You know when you're young, you always have that father that's like, this music sucks. This music sucks. This music sucks because you were raised on something different. My father was raised on like the Guess Who and the Beatles and this, that, and everything. So when I started listening to rap music like NWA and Eazy and Two Live Crew and all of these people like that, Ice-T and Ice Cube, and he would be like, this is terrible music. This isn't even music. This is terrible. Yeah. And I never thought that was going to come out of my mouth. But to be honest with you, the new rap, or if you want to call it rap, I don't even call it rap because it doesn't even have a message. The old school rap had a message. I'm sorry, but you listen to White Lines and you listen to the original old school rap stuff that I used to listen to, like the NWAs and the Eazy-E's and the Too Shorts and people like that. I mean, I can give you a list of people. Cypress Hill and stuff like that. There was messages. There was messages behind everything. Okay, whether it be a fun message or a get high message or there was a story. The new stuff doesn't even have a story. And he keep playing, oh, you got to listen to some Kanye or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to listen to no damn Kanye. I don't like Kanye. I think Kanye is foolish, okay? I don't like him. I don't like him as a person. I don't like his music, okay? Oh, you're really gonna like this? I'm like, oh, play it for me. He plays it for me, and I'm like, he just stole the whole beat from a whole nother song. That's a rap song from the early 90s, late 80s, okay? He just stole the beat and whatever, and he just speaking over it. It's not even a song. It's the same exact sound. Matter of fact, every single thing he listens to is the same exact sound. Okay, it's not like a Snoop Dogg. It's not like where they're talking about what they did and where they came from and what's going on. It's just it's just stupid. It's just stupid stuff, okay? But he wanted me to get, and I would sit there and I would listen, and sometimes I would fight, and I'd be like, you know what? I can't be like my dad. I got to give this kid the attention. I got to make him feel like I care. You know what I mean? I got to make him feel like I worry. You know, I legitimately want to hear what he has to say. But the other day I come home and it's like we're struggling with all this money, we're struggling with all this stuff, and I see that he's got a pizza box over here, he's got Buffalo Wild Wings over there, he's got this over there, he's got that over there, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, you ain't got no money to give me to pay your car insurance, and you got money to spend on this and that, and you just came from a concert, and he just came from this, and I was like, I don't, if I can't afford something, I go without. That's what I do. I go without, or I find a way. That's what this channel is mostly about, is me finding a way. If anything, this is me finding a way to buy the stuff that I want. And I figure it out. I figure it out sometimes by selling things. I figure it out by saving. This stuff doesn't just get... Nobody gives me nothing for nothing. Okay, that's what I want. I want him to learn. That's what as a father. That's what all fathers should be teaching their children. That this world is not going to give you nothing for nothing. You have to work. You have to struggle. You have to do what you got to do in order to make that thing happen. Nobody's just going to hand you over car keys. Nobody's just going to hand you over a house. Nobody's going to hand you over anything. You got to work for it. You got to work for things. And that's all I wanted the kid to learn. And on top of that, I wanted the kid to take his medication because I wanted to see if it would make a difference in his life, because his value of life to me didn't look like a lot of fun. It didn't look like it was that good. Being angry all the time and throwing fits and throwing tantrums. I mean, one day I come home from work and he put a hole in the bathroom wall. Told me he fell. Told me he didn't fall. He punched the wall. And I've been through that. I got a hole in you can't see the door over here, but when I first moved into this house, there's a hole from when I first moved in. When I lost my stuff and I put a hole in the wall. It's the same thing. He did the same thing, but he didn't want to admit to it. I'm looking at him like, the height of it, the shape of it, this is a hole. You punched it or elbowed it. You did something this wall, and he did. He didn't, but he wouldn't tell me. He lied to me. He lied. I patched it up. I fixed it and everything, but he lied to me. And there's one thing in this world that I cannot stand more than anything else is a liar. I tell the preschoolers that all the time. Listen, you hit somebody right in front of me, or you hit somebody, you hurt somebody, you do whatever. You tell me the truth, I'm going to work it out with you. But you sit there and blatantly lie right to my face, and I'm sorry, my friend, I will never trust you again. I'm sorry. That's the weird grudge thing that I have going on in my life. You lie to me, I will never trust you again, because I don't believe in lying anymore. I don't do it. I've had enough people in my life lie to me that I just can't do it. I can't lie to people. And I can't have people lying to me, because once they lie to me, regaining that trust after all the crap that I went through with my family, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. At my age, I don't want to do it anymore. It's not even that I can't. I don't want to. I know biblically it says we're supposed to forgive. I forgive. But stay away from me. That's the way it works. I forgive, but keep your distance, because I don't trust you no more. I don't hate you. I'm not wishing death on you. I'm not wishing anything bad on you, but you're a liar. Stay out of my life. Stay away from me. Leave me alone. I don't trust you. I'm sorry. So yeah, my son, I got mad at him. I told him, I said, it's time for you to go. You're gonna have to go. You got to go. The thing is, he was not coming home anyway. Okay, he would come home at 4:00 in the morning, and he's got college and everything. He's doing terrible in college because he's coming home at 4:00 in the morning, and I see him. He's doing papers at like 5:00 in the morning. He's rushing around. He's running around with his laptop. He's mad at us because everything's our problem. Okay, because the things that he could not take responsibility for his own actions. And that's another thing I cannot stand. I teach my preschoolers every day, take responsibility for your actions. If you did something wrong, take responsibility for it, and then make it better. You hurt somebody's feelings, take responsibility for it and make it better. You broke something, take responsibility for it and make it better. He could not take responsibility for any of his actions. And it tore me up because it took me years for me to understand that. I had to listen. Some people in this world, they have to be broken in order. My saying is, you have to be beat down so low to the ground before sometimes you got to look up and look up to something else. We go back to this higher being and this thing that you got to look up to. Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom, my friends, before you start looking up for something. You're like, please, because you are in a hole. Picture me in a hole right now, and I'm looking up, and I'm like, please, there's got to be something better. You got to help me. I'm stuck here. I'm stuck. I'm having problems. Help me. I'm being buried alive. It's like it's like I'm digging out 2 shovels of dirt, and somebody's throwing 2 shovels of dirt on top of me. It's a terrible way to live your life. And I just wanted my child to not go through that. That's all I ever wanted. That's all I ever wanted for all my children. So the other one that was gone for a little while, she saw the error of her ways, and she came back. And I'll tell you, you would think that a father would hold a grudge or look at her in a different way, like, hey, you left here for 4 months, and you partied, and you did your thing and whatever, and I'm going to hold a grudge against you. I didn't. I was like, you know what? Maybe I was a bit of the problem. Maybe you needed that freedom to understand that the grass is not greener on the other side. And our relationship is great. And now we got my son that he just won't get it together. It's not that he can't. And that's what bothers me even more, because if I can get it together, he can get it together. You know, it's kind of like Rocky 4. If I could change and you could change, we could all change. You know what I mean? That whole up there. I saw people coming out here, and they were all hating on me. And when he was talking to the Russians and everything like that. Listen, people can change, but you gotta want to change. You gotta know that there's a problem, and you gotta You gotta embrace the problem and then go seek the help that you need, whether it be counseling, whether it be medication, whether it be whatever it is, friendship, people to talk to, somebody to talk, something. You gotta embrace the problem, and then you gotta say to yourself, you know what? I got a problem. I got a gambling addiction. I gotta fix it. I got a drug problem. I gotta fix it. I got a problem with the way I treat people. I gotta fix it. Okay, I'm hurting people's feelings. I gotta fix it. I swear too much. If swearing's your thing and you swear too much, I gotta fix it. If you notice, I don't swear much on this channel. I try not to. I work with 3 to 5 year olds. I can't be swearing all the time. I gotta keep a cap on that stuff. Okay. On top of that, I was told one time by somebody, I think it was an inspirational speaker, that people that swear a lot are usually ignorant people that don't have a lot to say. They don't know how to use their words properly, so what they do is they throw in an F-bomb or an S or whatever in order to just fill in the gaps for the things that they really can't really express. I was told that by an inspirational speaker one time in high school, and I never forgot it. And I always tried to be like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense. You know, it's very easy for you to throw the F-bomb into something or whatever and have, like, make a sentence or whatever. But to actually be able to compose yourself and relay an entire message through a conversation, it's a little more difficult. You got to use your brain a little bit more, okay? And that's how I kind of lived my life ever since I heard this guy speak. Can't remember the guy's name, but he was amazing. He was amazing. It was during my high school years. It was back in like '94, it was our senior year. I'll never forget. He came up there and he referred to everybody as sir. He's like, I call you sir because that's a sign of respect. And I was like, wow. He made me feel important. This guy was an awesome inspirational speaker, and he was an ex-drug addict. He was in jail. He was slinging rock or whatever. There was all kinds of stuff going on with this guy, but he did his time, and he repented, and he turned his life around, and he spent the rest of his life inspirational speaking to people. And it was he inspired me to not want to be a better me. As a father, I'm thinking I'm trying to inspire my children to be better people. But they look at me like I'm some kind of demon of some sort. You know, like, listen, there's something wrong with you, Dad. You know, there's nothing wrong with me, you know, ripping Nick, and there's nothing wrong with me with gambling. There's nothing wrong with me. And I keep looking at it, I'm like, and this is with not just the boy, but my other children too. And I look at it like, didn't you see what your father had to go through with my father and my mother? Didn't you see the stuff that I had to go through, what your mother had to go through with her family and their addictions and their problems? Didn't you learn anything? Why would I want to be in a house of what I grew up with? It's like I escaped that. It was like a horror movie, you know. I escaped it. You know, the chainsaws and everything were hanging in the thing. I ran away. I made it out of there alive. I don't want to go from bad to worse. I want to go from bad to better. Everybody wants to be better in life. They don't want to go into a worse situation. And what happened to me is here I am in this house, locking myself in my fortress of solitude here, avoiding people because they all be crazy. They all got their own problems. They all got their own hang-ups, and I do not know how to fix them because they are fighting me tooth and nail that they are right in what they're doing. And I can see the self-destruction. I can see the problems. I can see what's going on, and it's breaking my heart. But you know what the difference between me and them is? When I'm breaking somebody's heart, I kind of feel for the person in a way. Especially if it's somebody that I know loves me or cares about me. If I feel like I'm hurting somebody that cares about me and has never done anything wrong to me, then I want to change whatever that is. I mean, it comes a lot from working with children. It comes with seeing, I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to, you know, some of these kids, they see, I had a little boy the other day tell me, oh, you know, my mom and dad, my dad was yelling and he threw mommy down and he's screaming at mommy and mommy was screaming at him. And I just stood there and yelled, stop, stop, stop. And I'm like, and I looked at the kid and I'm like, man, you're like 5 years old. You shouldn't have to go through that. I had to go through that. I feel for you because I know what you're going through. And I grabbed the child by the shoulders and I brought him close to me. I didn't want the rest of the class to be that into what was going on. And I grabbed him. I said, listen, I just want you to understand something right now. Whatever mommy and daddy are going through, whatever fighting they're going through, it has nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with you. You didn't do anything wrong. You see them doing something like that, go into another room. Just go to another room. Just get away. You don't have to be in the middle of that. You don't have to be telling two adults to stop at age 5 if they're fighting with each other. They should know better. And I always tell parents, listen, before you start an argument with your kid, like before you're flipping out in front of your kids, or before you're flipping out, period, look around. Look around who you're flipping out in front of. Because this might be a little person standing right in the front of you, absorbing all of that abuse. And that's what that is. That's a form of abuse. I had to deal with that abuse for years and years and years of my life, and it still messes me up to this day. I can still picture the vases flying across the room, the remote controls flying across the room, the glasses being broken, this thing being smashed, my father yelling at my mother, him smashing guitars against the wall, my mother crying in a corner, me locking my door and him kicking the door in. I can still see it. I can still vision it. I wake up screaming about it. Okay, my wife will tell me, there'll be times when my wife tells me, she goes, your legs were going 100 miles an hour last night. What were you doing? In your dream, what were you doing? Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. A lot of times I'm running. I'm running from the danger in my dreams, and I'm literally running in the bed. And I'm laying in bed, and my legs are going 100 miles. My wife's like, you were running. And I'm like, I had a dream about my father. I had a dream about stuff that was going on when I was a kid. I had a dream about a job I had before. I had a dream, whatever it was, I was trying to run away from it as fast as I could. And obviously, I'm kicking the crap out of her in my dreams. It's not an easy life. It's not an easy life for a lot of people. And listen, and if you're struggling with this stuff, get some help. Just realize that if you can't make some change in your life, you're gonna affect the people that you're with. You're gonna affect the people that love you and care about you. I embraced it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a channel. I'm gonna talk about my problems. I'm gonna be a preschool teacher. I'm gonna help little people to understand that this is what goes on in life. And some people might be like, that's totally wrong, sir. That's totally wrong. You should not be teaching little people. But they're going through it. They're living with divorce. They're living with mommy hitting daddy and daddy hitting mommy. They're living with dad's drunk, or they're living with, we don't even know who dad is, or where mom went, or mom's at the club and she's coming home drunk and throwing up. They're dealing with these things. I wanted to make a difference because I didn't want children to have to live the crazy life that I live. I'll tell you, I must have been maybe 7 years old. And I will never forget getting up early on a Sunday morning and going to the bathroom and urinating and looking over into the tub and seeing my father passed out in the tub because he was drunk. He passed out drunk in the tub. I don't know why he was in the tub, but I'm urinating and I look over and there's my father in the tub drunk. I will never forget that day. There was another day when my father and mother got into a big blowout because my father did not want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. Okay, she made his lunch for him. I guess all we had was peanut butter and jelly. She made the lunch for him. They got into a big fight, whatever. I come home from school, and there's the peanut butter and jelly sandwich in one of those little brown bags floating in our fish tank. We had a big fish tank about this size, and my aunt was over at the time, and I'm like, I look over and my mother's crying or whatever, and I'm listening to what they're saying, and I guess my father flipped out and he threw his lunch into the fish tank and everything like that. And then the funny thing is, the next day after everything would happen, he'd buy me something. That was his way of asking for forgiveness, compensation, buying something for guilt. I found myself doing it with my own kids for a long time, and then I realized I had a problem, and I went and seek the problem. I went to a counselor. I used to go every Saturday morning to go talk to a counselor. I've been on multiple medications to find the right ones, and I finally got the right ones that keep me going every day. Are they good for me? No. Are they gonna cause me probably later on in life to have dementia, Alzheimer's, or any kind of other problem? Probably. But are they keeping me sane right now? Absolutely. And without them, I am not the person you see in front of you. I am not even a shell of the person you see in front of you. I am a complete mess. So you know what? If the medication is working, I'm going to stick with it. And unfortunately, my son should be taking the medication, and he should stick with it. And maybe even 1 or 2 of my daughters should be, even 3 of my daughters should probably be on medication and stick with it. But they think that that's a sign of weakness, okay? For some reason, nowadays, people think that if you have to rely on medication, it's a sign of weakness. But what I don't get out of all of that is you rely on nicotine. Isn't that a sign of weakness? I mean, you're relying on marijuana. Isn't that a sign of weakness? You're relying on whatever it might be, whatever your hang up is. Isn't that a sign of weakness? So why wouldn't you go see a doctor and get a prescription of something that will help you out? It's not weakness. It's looking for help. It's realizing you have a problem and you need to get something to help fix that problem. That problem might not even have anything really to do with you as a person, as much as it has to do with the way you're built, the way the structure, the way the blood in you. It might be hereditary. It might be whatever it might be. You might need that to balance you off. But the kid fighting me tooth and nail, and I'm standing over him with the medication. Like, take it 7 o'clock. Take it 7 o'clock every day. Wait 3 or 4 weeks. Wait for it to get in your system. Let's see how it's going to work out. No. He's out every night. Don't come home till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. How can you take your medication at 7 o'clock if you don't come home till 4 o'clock in the morning? How can you get your homework done and your classwork done if you're not coming home till 4 o'clock in the morning? And being that they're like 19 to 26 or whatever, I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything. Because you get into a big enough fight, they just leave. And then you got to have, this is where I'm at right now. And this is where I was at when my daughter left. You have that guilt on your shoulders, like you pushed them out the door, and now they're gonna self-destruct out there, and you're gonna read the paper one day. People don't read papers anymore. You're gonna pick up your phone one day, and you're gonna see this one was found dead, car wrapped around a telephone pole, or this one was found dead, overdosed in the basement somewhere, or this one was found. You got to live with that for the rest of your life, and that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm sitting right now. That's where I'm dealing with right now. And the sad thing is I got to walk into work every day in the morning, put a smile on my face, and act like I am happy when I am a mess right now. Right as we speak, I am emotionally, mentally a mess. I could use about 2 months of like a desert island somewhere, just busting coconuts over my head and drinking coconut milk like Gilligan's Island. That's what I could use right now. But I got bills to pay. I got things that's going on. YouTube ain't paying the bills. YouTube ain't giving me nothing. They ain't give me a damn dime. Which is another reason why I always ask you guys to please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, please share. Okay, I would love to be able to get some kind of income from what I do here. I'm hoping I'm helping somebody. Whether it be to get the things that you can't afford, or watch me unbox something for entertainment purposes only, or just to teach you that you're not the only one out there that struggles. You're not the only one out there that's going through things. We all go through things. I've been through so much in my life, and in my heart, I'm like, there's a reason. There is a reason. Whatever you might believe in, there's a reason for the things that you go through. I am thankful for trials. I am thankful for problems I've had. I'm thankful for everything that I've gone through in my life. I might complain about it. You're thinking I'm complaining about it. But I sat down with my wife the other day, and I literally told her this. I had like 2 or 3 terrible, terrible jobs that I absolutely hated in my life. I mean, they really messed me up. And I sat down with her. I said, the other day, and I'm sitting there. She's like, and I'm like, you know what? I would love to go do that again for one more day. And just one day. And she's like, but you hated that. You hated that job. You hated that thing. You hated this. You hated that. I'm like, but you know what I didn't hate? The people. I hated the job. I hated the way the boss treated me, or some of the people. But listen, there's never all bad people. There's always some good people in the bunch. And I legitimately sometimes miss them. Just like high school. I'm sure some of you guys probably hated high school. Or girls or guys or whatever, hated high school. But I bet you at your age, if you're in your 40s or 50s or 30s or even your late 20s, even if you just got out of high school, I bet you if you stop for a second and think about it, you would go back for one. There's probably one day that you had in your high school years that was probably just great. Like I would go back to that one day, and I would love to see those people again. I'd love to look like I did back in that day. I would love to be hanging with this person again. Maybe it's a best friend you used to have, or a girlfriend you used to have, or just a thing that you had going on at that time. One day, I would take it. If there was such thing as a genie that could give me a wish, I would wish for one day of something that I did back in the day. Because not every day was a bad day. Okay, I mean, granted, I probably wouldn't request a day at my home. Okay, those were all pretty much bad days. Okay, I can't remember a good day at my old home. Okay, because all there was fighting and arguing and hitting and smashing and crashing and swearing, and it was a nightmare. Okay, but if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, listen, you want to do one day of high school again?" I take it. You want to do one day of a job that you couldn't stand, to meet the people that you haven't seen, or the people that passed away from the job that you used to have. Listen, there was some people that passed away that from the jobs that I hated that I absolutely loved. I loved these people. They were great people to me. They understood me. They embraced me. They took care of me. When I needed them, they were there for me. Matter of fact, the first person that ever gave me a hug was a man that I worked with at a place that I could not stand. Okay, I never had. My father was not a hugger. My father never told me he loved me. Okay, and that's not. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, but you poor you. Your father never told you he loved you. He never gave you a hug." Well, the first hug I ever got was I went to church one day, and this guy came over. He was my boss at the time, and I came into the church. He asked me if I would go to his church. I went to his church. The guy gave me a big hug. That was the first hug I ever got from a man. And I'll tell you right now, it was something that I actually really needed. I really needed it. And this wasn't like a strange way hug, where you're like, oh, no, a hug from a man, that's strange. No, it was a actual embrace of love that I think that I needed for a long time from somebody, from a father figure. That's what he was. He was a father figure to me. Okay, he was the father that I wish I could have had, but I didn't have. And now he's passed. So I would go back to those days. I was thankful for those days. And all I could wish is that my kids would stop for a second and realize that they're in the middle of it right now. They're in the middle of that. Some of them just graduated. Some of them are in college. Some of them are just learning for the first time. Embrace it. Enjoy it. It's going to go. It's going to go. You're going to go. Your looks are going to go. You're aging. You're getting older. Everything goes. Okay? We don't stay here forever. Embrace something. Enjoy it. If your life is going to crap, make a change. Don't blame everybody else in the world. Blame yourself for not trying to make a change. It's not everybody else's fault. It's your fault. Make a change. You're not happy with your life? Make a change. You're not happy with the money you're making? Make a change. You're not happy with the bills you got? Make a change. Don't make so many bills. That's what I'm starting to try to learn right now. That's my biggest problem right now. I'm trying to not buy so much stuff. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. But this channel is about me buying stuff. So now I'm like, you know what? I want to pay off everything that I got. And then I'll start again. Let me pay it all off. And then I'll start again slowly without putting myself so much in debt. That's what I need to work on right now. On top of the regularly taking medication. So with that said, I got packaging. Let's start. And once again, thank you so much for stopping by. These episodes they're a little bit long. But hopefully somebody gets something out of it. Something. Listen, comment below. YouTube loves comments. Comment something. Yeah, I've been through this. Hey, buddy, I feel for you. Hey, I understand. Or even I don't agree with you. You're crazy. This is crazy. What you're saying is crazy. This is nuts. Open the damn packages already. We don't even care about your life. We don't care about what you're going through. We don't care about your kids. We don't care about any of that stuff. We want to see what you bought and how you bought it, how you got it, so we can get it too. I don't care. Whatever it is, it's good for me. Comments are good. Likes are good. Subscriptions are good. All these things help me to maybe one day be able to get that damn play button so I can feel like I accomplished something in my life. Because right now, I'll tell you, with the kids walking out the door and giving me the virtual slap in the face, I don't feel like I'm accomplishing a hell of a lot. All right. This came from, did I spit all of myself? Probably. John Bushlow from Deltona, Florida. Okay. Here we go. We have, and I put a new blade in my razor blade, so that cut like butter. It's a copy of Tin Man, the 2-disc collector's edition Tin Man, starring Zoe Deschanel, Alan Cummings, Neil McDowell, and Richard Dreyfuss. It's like a Wizard of Oz made-for-TV movie. I was sitting at this comedy show that we went to go see, and there was an Alice in Wonderland movie that I owned on DVD, and I wanted to upgrade it. And when I went to go upgrade it, they always give you like a little line of things on your eBay page of things you might also be interested in. And I also own this on DVD. And I was like, you know what? And these are going for like $5. Okay, so the fact that it was going for $5, I was like, you know what? I'm going to upgrade this. I'm going to watch it because I never even watched it. My kids have watched it. It's a 2-disc set, so that always sells me. Whenever I hear anything $5 or 2 discs, that's almost a no-brainer. I feel like I'm getting my money just in discs. You know, that's like a plus. Yeah, it's like a Wizard of Oz type movie. I have a thing from I have a box here from Amazon Prime that came in today, which I have no idea what the heck is in that, so I'm going to open that last. This one came from Sam number 312. I'm assuming that's not Sam's real name. I'm sure his last name is not number 312. And he comes from PC. I don't know what PC is. Personal computer. Let's see what Sam sent me. Whatever Sam sent me, it's got a slipcase. So let's try to be. I should have been a little bit more gentle at first when I pull that out. And all right. Oh, I'm glad. Okay. I don't know much about this movie except I've seen some previews for it. I want to say it's a Netflix movie, but they released it on physical media, and I was like, I'm buying it because it just caught my eye. Because if you look at it, you can you tell me what you see right away. I know what you're gonna see, but you tell me what I see. It's called Poor Things, and the cover gave me a Alice in Wonderland vibe. And then I watched the trailer for it, and it looked creepy as hell. It's rated R for a whole bunch of things. Sexual content, graphic nudity, let me see, gore and language, strong and well, I can't even see that. So strong is something. I don't even know what the heck this is. Listen, obviously this movie is a mess. Okay, I mean, like a graphic something. Now, is it about Alice in Wonderland? I have no idea. It's just the girl on the cover looked like Alice in Wonderland, and it's Emma. That is Emma Stone, which I could deal with Emma Stone, and it also has a William Dafoe in it, and I like William Dafoe. But yeah, look at the cover. If you've seen this, I believe this is on Netflix or it could be on Paramount Plus. It's on one of those channels that I don't stream. You guys know I don't stream. That's not my thing. This was a little pricey, and it's a little hard to get. For some reason, this wasn't released in like Walmart and Target or whatever. Best Buy don't sell it no more. So, physical media is getting a little more difficult to find and get. Originally, for the first 2 weeks when I was trying to get this thing, or 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe even 4 weeks, it was going for like $60, $70. And I'm like, for a brand new movie that I can watch on a streaming channel, that doesn't make any sense to me. But then the prices started dropping. I guess as it started getting closer, there was a lot of them in Canada that you could purchase from Canada. I'm not from Canada, so I didn't order it from Canada. So I waited for the United States one to pop up because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to mess up my regions and everything. And I paid $20 for it. I think I want to say it might have been even 22. I hate to give you guys false information, but I know what, I got it right. Whoa, dropping stuff right there. Let me see. I paid. What'd I pay? Purchases. Okay, here we go. I paid. Oh, it wasn't even that bad. Okay, $14.88 plus $4.13 for shipping. That's what I paid for this. So that was actually under $20. So yeah, it wasn't. It was under $20. And it did not come with a digital. It's supposed to be a Blu-ray digital. That's another reason why it was cheaper than the $20 or whatever. Is as you can see, there's no digital inside. But yeah, it gave me a Alice in Wonderland vibe, and William Dafoe looks creepy as hell in it. And I was like, I want to see this. For some reason, it's still showing up on my eBay purchases as not even being shipped yet. So that's what threw me. I did not know it was here. This comes from the Amazon Prime, and I do not know what the heck I ordered from Amazon Prime that's this heavy. Did I order anything that is like a box set, or? I hope this isn't something stupid that was supposed to be for my wife. What the heck? Is this even for me? Wait a minute. Yeah, it says. What the hell is? Oh my! What the? All right, I'm a little confused here. All right, now you might. This was supposed to be a 16 battery. It's not a Blu-ray. It's not a DVD. I did not order wafer chocolate. That's for damn sure. and this is supposed to be 16 battery charger. My daughter came downstairs. This is once again. Let me throw this out. This is me being me. My daughter came downstairs. Her keyboard wasn't working or whatever, and she needed batteries, and I did not have sufficient amount of batteries for her, and I felt bad because that's her thing. She likes to go upstairs and play her piano. That's like her escape, so I felt really bad. Everything is in here. It's just, I guess, this did not come from Amazon. This was I bought this from eBay, but I guess this guy threw in some wafer chocolates, which, that always makes me very nervous. You know, when I order something from somebody and they add candy or some kind of food, it always makes me feel like, are you trying to kill me? Okay, that's what I feel. Is there an expiration date on it? Yeah, there is an expiration date on this thing. Oh no, that's not an expiration date. That's not what I don't know. Would I eat them? Would I not eat them? I don't know. Sometimes that makes me nervous when I get stuff that. But what this is actually it should be 6. Is it 16 I ordered or 24? 4, 8, 12, 6, yeah, 16 batteries and a battery charger. Made by EBL, which got really good reviews on Amazon. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to not buy it from Amazon because it's more money on Amazon. I'm going to buy it on eBay. And if you need rechargeable batteries, this got really good reviews on Amazon. So I was like, EBL, never really heard of them. I was going to go with the Duracell because that's what I've always stood by is Duracell batteries, especially for my remote controls and everything like that. But I've been finding a lot of complaints with the Duracell battery things overcharging and actually heating up and exploding. So I've been trying to stay away from the Duracell batteries, especially the rechargeable ones, not so much the regular ones. Duracell batteries have been great to me for years, but I don't know. All of a sudden, I guess what was already good, they tried to make better, and now they're blowing up. So I was like, okay, well, forget that. I'm not buying the Duracells, and Energizers don't last that long. So I was like, I'll give these EBLs a shot. Plus, you get 16, and what did I pay for this thing? I want to say I paid $32 for it with the shipping. So yeah, this did not come from Amazon. This is not a Blu-ray, a 4K, or a DVD. I don't have anything else to show you that's 4K. But you know what? This video went on long enough. Let me end this by telling you I appreciate you. Each and every one of you. If somebody has not told you lately that you are important and they appreciate you, let me let you know that you are important to somebody. You are appreciated. I do read every comment that comes across me on YouTube. I do try to answer every comment that comes across me on YouTube, unless it's something that is just like a basic something. Then I'll give you the heart and the check mark and the heart or whatever, meaning that I read it and yes, I understand. But if it's a legitimate question or whatever, I try to answer everybody. My subscribers are important to me. People in general are important to me. Okay, that's why I chose the career that I do. I wanted for people not to go through the things that I go through in life. But you know what the sad thing is we're going to go through them. We're going to keep going through them. I'm going to keep going through them. This is not going to be my last rodeo with my kids. Okay, I am going to struggle again and again and again. And I'll tell you why I'm going to struggle again and again and again. Because I am who I am. Because I have made mistakes in my life and I deserve everything that I get. I've come to grips with that. I've accepted that I deserve every terrible thing that ever happens to me. I deserve whatever good things happen to me too. I just feel like there's no finger pointing when it comes to me. I can't point my finger and say he's the reason or she's the reason for my screwed up life. Listen, if I'm broke, it's because I got all of this. I spent it on this stuff. Okay, if I'm struggling, it's probably because of something that I did wrong. Got to take accountability. Got to take accountability. But I want you to know that, you know what, there's people out there. There's people that want to listen to you. I want to read what you have to say. If you've gone through terrible things in your life with your family or whatever, you're hurting. Listen, the other day I had a parent that's been going through a big time struggle. And I did what I could to help this parent out. And I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't expecting a thank you or whatever. It was just it's just natural. It's just a natural thing with me. It's just a total natural thing. I'm not looking for any praise. I'm not looking for anybody to be like, give me a good job, sir. Good job, you did that. I just do it because I feel like that's what I was made to do. Just like Willy Wonka was made to be a candy man, I was made to be a Wonkerer. You know what I mean? Like when I was made to do this, and that's what I do. And I make mistakes. Sometimes I make mistakes, but then sometimes I do something really good for somebody, and it gives me that fulfillment that I need to get me through another week. So yeah, I'm thankful for things. I'm thankful for you. I appreciate you. This has been a long video. If you hung in this long, thank you so much, and I will see you later.
You should have saved me some.